All right. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that we get these bloopers somehow incorporated into this episode. This is the Showtime and Kev podcast in VR, thanks to Failed to Render and Chicken Waffle Studios. I'm Cory Showtime.
I'm Kevin Munroe.
And no matter what dimension we're in, Kevin has to do his own intro for us to start the show. So, Kevin, if you'd be so kind.
In the name of the one called Emperor Selassie, conquering tribe of Judah, King of Kings and Santa Cruz Reggae Music Festival, Thanksgiving in his land, theft what the rascal that going up in this piece, Lord have mercy. Brakashak, bow, 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 yaga yow.
We don't understand what that means either.
And no one ever will. No one ever will.
And no one ever will.
I think I'll have to go to... I'll have to go to Buju Banton's dying, like his deathbed, and ask him. And Buju Banton will be like, "You already know what it is, man."
Nothing's a guan.
Nothing's a guan.
All right, folks,
so what's popping with you, man?
What's popping with me? Not much, dude. It's Thanksgiving Eve. I'm brining a turkey, and I'm sure I'm going to mess up in some way that's still going to be delicious. Not going up to visit my folks because they're in their 70s, and I'm not a monster. And but I am willing. If it wasn't their lives, I would totally risk my own life for my mom's sweet potato pie. But that's what's going on with me. Fair. I got the next couple of days off from work. As far as comedy's concerned, I'm doing this. What about you, bro?
Well, I mean, for our family, you know, being from the Caribbean, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving because we didn't kill any Indians.
Neither did we. We're just complicit by default. Black people have nothing to do with this.
We're like, this is kind of cold. Y'all came through, kill all the Indians, and then you made a dinner on top of their dead bodies. Y'all some ice cold motherfuckers.
Damn.
But all right.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Right. So we don't our family doesn't really celebrate Thanksgiving. I mean, everybody has time off, of course. So so they have big dinners or whatever.
And you know what?
But
honestly, that's kind of the Black experience too. Like, we don't have any tie to the whole. If any ties that we have to Thanksgiving is that we have a cousin that plays for the Cowboys or the Washington name redacted or the Detroit Lions that play every weekend. Or play every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so the football games are going to be lit. Like, there's definitely there's two things you always count on Thanksgiving: football games and drunk arguments.
Food. Okay, I was good. I'm fat. I was just like food, but yes, drunk arguments. That's you're Caribbean, so that's a little more prevalent. But I'm Black, so that's clear. So, I wasn't trying to throw you out there. No, I wasn't trying to throw it out there. I was just like, if you don't even celebrate the holiday, I guess the argument would be more prevalent.
Right? Yeah, that's what we're really there for. Yeah, we're just here to talk trash to each other. Now, I mean, so we don't really do the traditional turkey. We'll just have a big meal. But the one thing I do like about Black Thanksgiving is sweet potato pie. I didn't know that was a thing. That was, I mean, I've had pumpkin pie. I've had, lemon meringue pies. We do all those kind of things. But sweet potato pie, I was like, are you crazy? And then I had one once, and I was like, how come people don't put that out there as the official Thanksgiving pie, man?
Well, Black people have, and that's the thing. We're 12.5% of the population, and until it becomes a fad, the moment Ellen tries a patty pie, it's not going to be ours anymore. That's going to become that's going to be an American staple that they've always had. It's just going to magically pumpkin pie. It's going to be the Mandela effect. Pumpkin pie is just going to disappear, and it's always will have always been sweet potato pie. But it's funny,
but. But you know it's not the official pie yet, because when you go to Costco, you can get a pumpkin pie that looks like an 18-wheel tire, like that.
It's funny you mentioned that. This is exactly what I heard when I was driving home from work. I was listening to one of the Lakers AM radio stations, and they were talking about, and there's two old white guys in their 50s, Mason and Island, shout out to them, and they were talking about pumpkin pie and how they got it from Costco, and they're like I just heard about this thing about sweet potato pie, and I was like, they were talking about that was the official pie, and I'm like, that is absurd. And it's it's funny because that's one of those unintentionally, not racist, but racial things. Like if you came up in a white household, you had pumpkin pie every Thanksgiving. If you came up in a black household, you had sweet potato pie. You had a choice of sweet potato. Your aunties and your grandmas and your cousins, like all the women in your family, like had a competition on the sweet potato pie or the dessert of some sort. Like you had to have one dish. You know what I mean? Like
okay, so it's not just a sweet potato pie. It's you pick the best of.
It's sweet potato pie, peach cobbler. You know, like this is a smorgasbord. It's
like an American Idol, basically, of sweet potato pies. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
But see what you said earlier. Like once people like Mason in Ireland find out about sweet potato pie, it's gonna get gentrified, and next thing you're gonna see sweet potato pie with like raisins in it.
Yeah. Oh, you know it's coming. We made this artisanal. We made this artisanal rutabaga sweet potato quiche. Like, it's gonna be a wrap. And like I just really realized that like it's a definite like it's unintentionally, it's not racist, it's racial. Like it's really drawn down those lines. And personally, I don't know if it's because I'm black or whatever, but I just do not like pumpkin. Like I don't like it I don't like pumpkin spice, I don't like pumpkin pie, I don't like pumpkin nothing. And if you say that to a white person, like they'll lose it. Like what and honestly, I don't like squash like that. Like stop putting squash in my latte.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Pumpkin I'm kind of used to. Squash, that's when you start getting into them weird like okay, you have to be at a white person's house to like even see what that thing is. It's like that thing in the plate. That should be decorations. That's some shit you put out on your front lawn. Like, why is that?
Yeah, these are the vegetables that look good in the grocery store, but nobody actually grabs. You know, right. Shit in the middle in the pile.
Right.
All those weird zucchini looking things.
Right. Or if you make it like a jack-o'-lantern and you want to put it on your front lawn, like you put that out there and you put these other little whatever those little things are. It's like you're not supposed to eat that, but there it is.
I'm putting my line in the sand, man. Sweet potato is where it should be, and anything pumpkin is an abomination. I don't like pumpkin nothing. I understand that you can cook with it, but I don't like it. I don't like pumpkin spice. I'm not a pumpkin fan.
Okay. I mean, in the Caribbean, we use it. We put it. We mix it with our kalaloo and other things. So we have different recipes. We use it for pie too. That's a mix of crab and this giant green bush, like a spinach and spices. It's really good.
That sounds bomb, actually.
But it has okra in it, so I mean that makes it slimy as hell, and I hate that part of it.
That'll get my black card revoked. I can't do okra.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to do it. I hate it too, even though I'm from Trinidad. Yeah, but I will say though, I think it'll be very funny if like that's the final straw. If like somebody gentrifies sweet potato pie, you're like, okay, last year they took Brooklyn, now sweet potato pie.
I'm with you on that one. I'll be out there with the pitchforks, like Attica. No, like you can't have our sweet potato pie, Becky. You just can't. You gotta let us have something. You gotta let us have something. Oh,
man. Okay, we'll return to this at some point, man. I didn't realize you had such strong feelings about pumpkin, man. Like
it's serious, bro. Like I don't know. I didn't realize I hated it this much until right now.
What happened when you in high school? Like a pumpkin took your lunch money, man. Like you sound like
nah. I've had no past bad experiences besides just the fact that like it's everywhere. It's kind of like how how fruitcake is like a Christmas staple, but nobody really likes it. It's like a stereotype that nobody likes fruitcake.
Right,
you know?
right. So the last thing everybody brings one, but it's the last thing that stays on the table, basically.
Yeah, and like it's also a stereotype. Nobody likes candy corn, right? Yeah, I don't like. That's my thing. I'm just like that sweet. If you give me a pumpkin pie, I'm just going, okay, that's nice. It's just gonna sit there until someone comes to get it.
Right. I feel like the day after Thanksgiving is like the real day of reckoning. Like nobody knows the truth until the Friday after Thanksgiving. Like, was your food good? Do people like it? Because when you come in and you bring your plate, everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's so great! I'm so glad you brought this. This is so beautiful." Only the garbage man knows the next day. Only the trash man knows the truth about your food.
The marshmallow souffle was not a big hit like she thought it was gonna be. Beep beep. Beep.
Exactly. It should interview garbage people like afterwards, like, yo, yeah, man, Martha's pumpkin stew. Nah, bruh. Everybody took it home and threw it away. But speaking of this, man, so right now, tonight, this is Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Tonight is the last night here in LA before the restaurants close down for a 1-month curfew. So this is it. I know. I mean, so this is the last time, like, after this podcast, I'm gonna go out and try to have a drink real quick before they shut everything down. Just one last hurrah.
Like the last episode of Cheers, huh?
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Because starting Friday, I'll be sitting in Echo Park with a 40 in a paper bag. That's pretty much it. That's my lifestyle now, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like these lockdowns, man, that's proof that we fucked up. You know what I mean? Because if it comes to lockdown, is like last resort. So if we've come to the point where we're locking down the city of Los Angeles, it's a wrap.
Like, yeah, we definitely messed up. Yeah, we definitely had a lot of spoiled people that were upset about haircuts that rioted. And yeah, we also had people gathering for reasons of unrest that could not be stopped. But whatever the case, whatever the situation, I'm at the point now, just as a citizen and as a consumer, where I'm like, look, figure it out. Like the governor looks like the bad guy. Whether he is or not, I'm not even gonna get into that. I really don't feel like it. It's a whole thing. But like just the fact that like I know they're trying, like nobody's locking down because they want control. Like they want us to be, they got control, obviously, because they're going to lock us down. What they want is to be able to get past this so that we can spend money again. So that we can go back to all these businesses that are busted down, so we can get the economy going, so all the people at the top that are making their money can keep making their money. But I'm just at the point where now it's like, what the fuck? Like, what works? Like, what's the point of locking down again? You know?
Well, I mean, first of all, anybody that thinks we're doing this for control is crazy. Right, because like the people who are on top who want to make their money, there's no way they would do this because this is hurting everybody's business. Everybody from commercial real estate to your restaurants to your hotel business to whatever. So this idea of like, oh yeah, it's these secret people doing it to have control. Control over what? Garbage? Like there's nothing to control now. You know? It's like, we definitely made up this virus so we could tank Wall Street. Like, that's a great idea. Like, who the fuck? What kind of dumb villain does that? So, yeah, I mean, I understand like how like annoyed you are about this. Like, what works? Like, what do we? Are we just gonna keep locking down? Well, if this doesn't work, then this is all the tools we got left. I mean, other than just like, digging holes in the ground and just throwing people in it. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing left.
That is next. Like, that's literally, if you watch all the disaster movies, that is next. Like that's I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. Like, everything that's happened in 2020 is like the news crawl at the beginning of the disaster movie. Like, when they're doing the opening credits and like, it starts with like, oh yeah, 5 infected over in Great Britain. And then before you know it, it's 28 days later. Like right now we're about halfway through the opening crawl, right? And like if you watch that montage, there's a point where the guys in the hazmat suits are just dumping bodies into mass graves, lighting it on fire and like covering the shit with like cement.
Right. Yeah, it's getting close to that. Actually, I think we're a little bit further along than that. We're at the point now. See, the problem with COVID is it's not like Ebola. Like Ebola, if you get that, you drop dead like real quick. But this thing doesn't really kill you, but it lasts long enough to get spread before it really kills you. So it's kind of like it kind of like chokes you hella weak, so you don't die. But before you know what I mean? Like if it just boom like hit you, it'd be easy to contain like Ebola. But it's just hella weak, so it just kind of hangs around. You infect other people, and then it dies, or you die.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of it's kind of like that movie. Oh, sorry, good.
No, so it's the problem is like that's why it's still spreading is because it doesn't kill people fast enough. So
that's a sad realization, Kevin. Like I said, I've been saying this for weeks as well. Like it's in order, like because there's been a lot of. I've been following the NFL. I haven't really been watching the games, but I've been following the season. And like, there's been a sneaky lot of guys out with COVID. You know, they either because they tested positive or they're in contact with someone that had or whatever. And there's one dude that was like hospitalized twice and like really having trouble with his lungs in the NFL. And they're burying the story because nobody's going to give a shit until this happens to Tom Brady. You know, like if Tom Brady gets sick and dies from COVID, we'll have a cure in a week.
I'm trying to cross my fingers here. No disrespect to Tom Brady, but once he moved to Tampa Bay and I stopped hating New England, I realized, I just hated Tom Brady. I feel bad. I'm a hater.
I hate this guy.
Yeah, I'm a hater. I realize that. But yeah. Until Tom Brady gets hurt, gets sick from this stuff, they'll next man up. You know, I mean, this is the same industry that's covered CTE for decades. You know, they don't care.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they don't care about this, especially something that you can't see.
Half a century, actually.
And especially something where, like, even if you're sick today, you could still play today, and then tomorrow we could throw you away. Hell yeah, they're not gonna say anything.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, I mean, so Tom Brady is kind of like the canary in the coal mine. As long as Tom Brady is healthy.
You
taking those TB12 things.
You would think it would have been Trump. Like, you would think that would have been the wake-up call for everybody. But no. Like, everybody's just like, nah, like, that's enough. Like, it's, I had it. I'm fine, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, he was kind of the worst person that could have got it.
Well, you know, Trump's people, they don't care about this stuff. I mean, they're like actively not looking at this. I mean, here in LA, if you go down to Huntington Beach, I wouldn't advise it because that whole place needs to have a tent on it and get fumigated. Because I mean, like when they started the curfew a week ago, they had a big Saturday night protest in downtown Huntington Beach. Nobody wearing masks, everybody running around, bars open. You know, so those people, they would look at Trump beating it and thinking, oh, well, I guess we don't have to do shit if he's not doing shit. So
and the crazy thing is, when Trump had COVID, he kept having rallies and like infecting people in the White House. So like he might have actually spread the shit more himself. But the fact that these people in Huntington Beach like keep protesting the lockdowns, like it's only because you're privileged. Like there's no other reason. Like, why are you out? I'm trying to find a way to properly verbalize my complete disgust with humanity in this sense. But it's like like the lockdowns are for your protection. Nobody's trying to take your money. Like you're just protesting the fact that you're being grounded. But why though? Like, what do you expect to get out of it? Like you protesting is not going to make it go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for some reason COVID doesn't read the news. It doesn't care about your opinion or about your position on freedom.
You know?
Yeah, nah, it's bad, man. Could you imagine having a coworker like Trump that shows up and like coughs all in the break room? It's like touching everything.
I've had several. That's why I didn't vote for him.
It's like, I know this guy. He won't go. He's like, no. The game needs me. I need to be at work every day. And everyone's like, dude, take your sick time, please. Take your sick break.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a real mess because people are traveling home for the holidays. What I learned is that airplanes are actually cleaner than airports. I did not know that. Yeah, I thought because apparently in the plane, like they filter the air, it is recycled air, but it's filtered, and they inject new oxygen and all this stuff. Whereas in an airport, you know, it's an enclosed space with people farting on each other. So
yeah,
that's
like an airplane you have a limited amount of time. So like, say you're flying from LA to New York, there's like a couple hundred passengers. You sit in your seat. You get on the plane, you put your bag up, you sit in your seat for 5 hours. You might get up to go to the bathroom once or twice. Then you might eat, and then you get off, and then you take your bag and get off the plane, and they clean it from then on out. So versus an airport where it's just all day long, constantly people coming and going.
Right. And I know specifically for LAX, it's hella dirty, because the last time I traveled, they were making announcements. They're like, now we'll be cleaning bathrooms once an hour. I was like, now? What was y'all doing before?
LAX has been a shit show my entire adult life, but it's also one of the most popular and busy airports on the planet. So it's not like they have time to make any necessary changes.
Right, but
are those my sirens or yours?
No, that's oh man, yeah. This podcast might end early. I'm on the run. No, I'm kidding. That's just LA.
They heard us talking about Pumpkin, man. They weren't taking that shit serious. It's a wrap.
Twas the night before Thanksgiving. So man, let's I wanted to get on this topic, just real quick. This is pissing me off, but I have to deal with it. So, as you know, the NBA draft happened last Wednesday on the 18th.
Okay. Yeah.
And LaMelo Ball was picked number 3. LaMelo Ball, the son of LeVar Ball, brother of Lonzo Ball, and brother of weed carrier Leandro Ball.
Is that what he's doing with his time now?
No, actually,
I mean, he's got to do something. It ain't basketball.
No, he signed the G League. He signed for the Oklahoma Blue. Yeah.
Oh,
and they played one game and then they shut down for COVID. So he's just having bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be a weed carrier. He's gonna be a weed carrier. He's great.
He'll do great at that.
Yeah, definitely. 6'5", big body. Loves to steal and hide shit. Yeah, perfect dude for that. But LeVar Ball, of course, the dad. He's like, he talked a lot of shit earlier about playing Michael Jordan one-on-one. And now they asked him about it because now, his son is playing for Charlotte Hornets, owned by Michael Jordan. And LeVar Ball says, I'll play Michael Jordan one-on-one, but it has to be for at least $200 million. Now, doesn't that sound like a number that's super specific? Yeah, like he already lost that shit in Vegas.
Possibly not in Vegas. Like he probably lost that much in Big Baller brand shoes.
Right. Yeah, but he lost it somewhere because that's a very specific number.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat you for $200 million, 45 cents.
And Jordan is petty enough to just be like, "Fuck yeah!" In fact, I'll give you 100,000 for every point you actually score on me.
Right. See, that's why I think, even though it sounds stupid, it might be actually kind of smart because LeVar knows that Michael Jordan loves to gamble. So he might be like, I won't play you for $200 million, but yeah, I'll put $2 million on the table just to shut you up.
Yeah.
Right.
But Mike would play him for that $200 million because it knows there's no way in hell Michael Jordan could break his leg in the middle of the game and still win in a shutout.
Right. And he would do it too. He's spiteful like that. He'll play. Yeah. Michael Jordan will play smoking a cigar while wearing church shoes and still beat that dude.
Yeah. Give him 50.
Right. But honestly, it's not worth it because, like, okay, so Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson are gonna fight, and those guys they're fighting for charity, but they've actually worked out. They've got in shape, they got their fitness right. Yeah. Michael Jordan looks like an old ass brother from North Carolina that works at a fish shack. Okay.
Yeah. And he's earned that though. He's been the best basketball player on earth for 20 years, and he's been the legend of the best basketball player on earth for the last 20 years. So it's time to get fat.
Yeah, he is not in shape at all. Like and LeVar was bad at like community college. What I'm saying? Exactly. He got dunked on by walk-ons that had families.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
LiAngelo is 10 times better than he ever was.
Right. But I want to watch this though because I want to keep an eye on this topic because I think what's going to happen is Jordan won't be able to help himself, and he'd be like, "Okay, motherfucker, bam, $5 million, let's go, church shoes, somebody bring me some sneakers." Give me some towels, and they'll play one-on-one, and it's going to be embarrassing as hell because LeVar obviously can't play to save his life, and and Mike is hella out of shape, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
So
I want to see that Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight for the simple fact that every way it looks is an exhibition. Like there's no knockouts, there's no judges. Like it's guaranteed to end in a draw. But it's Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. I know Mike Tyson don't have an off button. Mike Tyson don't know how to hit you without breaking your spleen. Like And here's how I know it's probably gonna go that way. Like Mike's getting $10 million for this fight, he's donating it all to charity. Roy's getting $3 million for this fight, and he's keeping all his money because he's going to need it for the doctors and the rehab and the medical treatment. Because Mike Tyson doesn't know how to turn it off.
Right. I'm gonna need some healthcare help. Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna add on to that, and I'm gonna say another reason I know this is gonna be a fucked up fight is because they just had an interview recently with Mike Tyson, and he was getting into his feelings about how he retired and all that, and he started getting angry and crying. And he's like, I felt like I went out like a bitch, and I didn't want to go out like a bitch, man. That's fucked up. And he's crying and he's angry, and you know this. Anytime you see a brother that's angry and crying at the same time,
he means that shit.
I mean, go back to New Jack City on that scene, Wesley Snipes on the rooftop, where he's like G Money's like CMB. Wesley Snipes is mad as hell because the man dropped dime on him. He's crying, but that look on his face is mad as fuck, and that's a wrap right there.
Yeah,
I mean. I'd rather have him crying or angry. I don't want him angry and crying.
Yeah. Mike Tyson crying angry is something you don't want to try to like there was a point in time, I remember when Tyson fought Holyfield, and there was a point where the sheriffs in the armed guards in the ring were scared. Like you see visible terror on their faces because they had to restrain Mike Tyson, and Mike wasn't having it. And they're like, I know I can't shoot this dude. What do I do?
Right. Definitely like bull in a China shop problems.
Yeah.
I can't kill it, but can I tranquilize it? Like, what do I do? What do I do?
And the reason why nobody thinks Roy has a chance, and don't get me wrong, Roy Jones Jr. is one of the baddest men who's ever lived in boxing, but he was a light heavyweight. He did all his damage between 175 and 195. Mike ain't never fought below 220, 215. This is not going to end well.
Right. Unless Roy Jones Jr. put on a whole bunch of Thanksgiving weight, I don't know how he's gonna.
That's Roy is a heavyweight now, but it's not like he's a heavyweight because he beefed up, he got he chiseled up and he's fighting. He's been fighting. No, he got old and he can't run like he used to. So it's remember the Great White Hype?
Wait, the movie or the actual guy?
The movie. The movie.
I don't remember the movie. There was a real Great White Hype in the place.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, Damon Wayans was in shape in the beginning of the movie. By the end of the movie, he had a big fat belly because he was just eating ice cream and not taking the fight serious. Well, Roy looks like that even though he's been fighting for the last couple of years. He's just got old fat,
Oh, okay.
And Mike is a brick shit house at 53. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, that looks bad. You can't hit somebody with stomach fat. That don't work. I mean, you need that swole in your arms, in your chest. Yeah, so I'm gonna still watch it though. I'm gonna still watch it. See what happens.
Of course we are. That's why the purse is so high, because everybody is gonna pay $50 for this, and it's like a Tyson fight that you. When was the last time you could pay $50 for a Tyson fight? He was always $100 back in the '80s.
Right. Yeah. No, I only saw it on HBO on TV. We didn't even have pay-per-view. Our Trinidad and Tobago national television bought HBO for some reason, and we'd see it on satellite TV. If your friend had satellite TV, we'd see it that way. But yeah, it was definitely not available outside of the US unless you had satellite or some bootleg way of doing it. So Man, these kids now, they don't understand, man. Like back in our day, we didn't have. Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna definitely watch that. One last thing about sports that's pissing me off: the day of the NBA draft, Klay Thompson tears his Achilles. Now,
how do I am not say goodbye? Keep going.
I am not a conspiracy theory brother, but I want an immediate investigation. You don't tell me the day of the draft, the day, dog. I want the FBI, I want the CIA, I want the Black Panthers, I want the Mod Squad, I want 007, I want Scotland Yard, I want the Commissioner, I want Roger Goodell, I want the ghost of David Stern. I want everybody on that case right fucking now. How dare you? I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
As you finish or as you done?
As I finish, I'm just mad. Like, how the fuck? Like my dude, this is the day of the draft. Sit your ass down. Watch the game. Watch the draft. I mean, watch the draft.
I'm not trying. Now, me singing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday might make it seem like I'm happy for you. I'm not at all. Like, this actually makes me really sad because as a Laker fan, and now that we technically have a rivalry, like, I know I was going to have to hear you guys' mouth all year long. And I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to trash talk. And now that Klay's hurt, It's like, oh, here we it's actually, like, as a basketball fan, it sucks. Like, the Splash Brothers are box office. That was the ticket in the NBA for 5 years. You wanted to see those two cook. Right. And it sucks that we're all going to get robbed of that for yet another year. But I also got to hear y'all whine about, oh, we had Klay for another 82 games or 72.
Right. Yeah. Bay versus LA is kind of broken right now. We don't have that. I mean, I was looking forward to that. I mean, on draft night, DC Irvin, G King, all the, Bay Cats, split between the Bay and LA. I mean, it was already heating up on Facebook, We had already moved on from the election and started talking shit about basketball. Like, I was, good times.
And we were talking about something not Trump. That was a beautiful thing. That was what I was looking forward to. We had something we could always go and get a heated conversation out of each other from.
Yeah. So okay. So that's kind of broken right now. However, there's still, I mean, the Warriors, I mean, they got this new kid, Wiseman, out of the draft, 7'1" out of Memphis. He's Penny Hardaway's kid, not his kid, but the kid he mentored.
That was. I remember when they got into some trouble because he's been a family friend for years, and Penny helped his family move. And then the kid ended up coming to Memphis, and then the NCAA had some kind of they try to say that was tampering or some bullshit like that.
Oh yeah, so. it was a total bullshit call. I mean, it's I mean, they call Penny a booster. He's like, I knew him 8 years ago. I wasn't even coaching. I wasn't even trying to coach back then, right?
Yeah, that was just being a nice guy.
I mean, that's crazy to me, man. I mean, that's like if you go to the mall with your girl and you see somebody you dated in high school. And your girl's like, oh, what's up with that? And you're like, baby, that was high school. That was 8 years ago. Why are we still talking about this?
For me, that was 20 years ago. It was so you mad about some chick I haven't seen that I dated then and haven't seen since? Come on.
Right, for real though. That's exactly what it is. It's dog, that relationship is a totally different thing than what it is now.
Yeah. I'm a different person from who that was. Yeah.
Totally. It's a totally different person, totally different relationship. That kid, what 8 years ago was 12 or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go to somebody's house and you see a 12-year-old kid that can play ball. Are you supposed to avoid him because you don't know he might become an NBA lottery pick? What? How's that supposed to work?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But you guys got a center like you needed, and then you got Kelly Oubre. So you make the playoffs, but it's gonna be a minute. It's not
gonna be good. It's not gonna be good because the centers are young boys, Wiseman and that other big goofy looking kid from Vanderbilt. Nobody over 25. Meanwhile, the Lakers have some grown ass men. You got
Montrez,
you got JaVale. I mean,
we don't have JaVale. we lost JaVale, we lost Dwight, we got Montrezl Harrell and Mark Gasol. And Dennis Schroeder and Wesley Matthews, and I know I'm leaving out another big name too. But I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time to be a Laker fan.
It's fucked up, man. Because I mean, the Warriors have players, but it's kind of like NBA YoungBoy versus Ice Cube. You know?
Yeah. It's not a good look.
I know we got a bunch of young dudes that have some hits, but y'all got like goats. Y'all got like, you know, like dudes with platinum records on the wall. You know?
Yeah, it's a problem. Oh yeah, we got the other Morris brother. And it was funny to see when we got Montrez, Patrick Beverly reacted on Twitter like, "What the fuck?"
Right, because they were talking all that shit like, "Oh yeah, we a family, we gonna run it back, Meanwhile, Montrez, he's like, "Yo,"
he said, "We."
Yeah, he's like, I'm starting to like this bagel with the salmon and capers now. You know, I'm sixth man of the year. Don't give me that bagel and cream cheese. Put some salmon and capers on that. Let's get to the top floor of this building. What am I doing down here in the basement with the Clippers, dog?
All I'm saying is, if you want
show
to
me
be
the
on
penthouse.
a basketball team, if you want to be on a basketball team where the owner ain't all up in the videos, dancing, having a rally, getting all sweaty, come to the Lakers. Come across the locker room.
That's totally what happened. And Montrez is like, "Yo, that penthouse suite looking kind of nice, yo."
Right? Way better than like much more fresh air and better views in the basement.
Yep. We're gonna get you some new fits. We're gonna clean up that beard, we're gonna get your dreads right. He's gonna start coming out wearing some shiny like Puff Daddy shit, man. He's gonna start wearing fucking onesies with fucking gold fanny packs and shit. Like they're gonna change him. It's gonna be ugly, man.
I hope when the Lakers play the Clippers in the first game, he actually walks into the Clippers locker room on accident, like, "Oh snap, my fault. Sorry, I'm not over here no more. My bad." And just wearing something stunning too, and it's like, "Oh, my bad, folks, my bad." Like with a mink on.
He got that 1984 Magic Johnson mink.
Yeah,
because it's a 2-year deal too. It's a 2-year deal.
Oh yeah,
so they really fucks with him. Yeah, it's not.
I'm gonna be here for 2 years.
Exactly. By the way, I'm sorry I said fucks with him. I didn't know what happened. I retro. I became a Instagram 12-year-old for a second.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, fucks with him.
I have to make TikTok videos. I don't want to. I have to. I'm
definitely too old for TikTok, man.
I feel like once you sign up for I don't have Snapchat because like a long time ago when Snapchat came out, like this girl at the show was like, "Oh, what's your Snapchat?" I'm like, I feel like they put me on a list if I signed up for that shit.
Right. Yeah. Like you're gonna get a visit from the FBI and that one guy, the Catch a Predator dude.
Yeah, Chris Hansen just shows up at your door the next day. Like, why don't you sit right there? Like, what is your?
Is this your Snapchat,
35
sir?
Plus? Yeah, you're 35 years old. Why are you hitting on this 14-year-old girl?
Exactly. And you're like, I thought the videos disappeared. We just tell people that.
Oh, poor Chris DeLay.
Oh God. Man. So anyway, one last thing I want to get into. By the way, this is actually a good time right now because I just feel like we did this podcast. We've got this long through it. We haven't really talked about politics really for the first time in, I don't know, like 10 episodes. And that's kind of like a testament to like how much better things are now. You know what I mean? like we could just like talk about basketball and other shit now. Like, thank you.
Yeah. Like there's some degree of normalcy, even though we're still in a pandemic and it's still 2020 and we're still waiting for the transition. And like the dude finally admitted that he lost and he's starting to transition over. So that like
No, he didn't admit he lost. No, he did not admit that.
Okay, what? Elaborate.
He has never conceded that he lost. Not once.
And he probably never will. but his team is cooperating with Biden's team to like start transitioning jobs and power and all that stuff over.
Yeah. So that's happening, but he never conceded. I mean, this is like the game is over. Like it's just like the fans are gone. Like it's him and the janitor's like turning off the lights. Like, yo, man, you know, good game. Are you sure you want to stay here, man? I got to turn these lights off. I got to go home. And he's still no. Let me see one more instant replay. One more replay. Like, man,
I'm
get
seeing
your ass
that,
out the gym.
I'm seeing that, but more like a contest or like a convention, and he didn't win, but he's still standing there on the podium waiting for them to give him the trophy. And like they've already broken down the stage and the lights are on and people are like begging him to get off this third place step or whatever. And he's like, nope, not till we get a recount. It's just, I just see that in my head.
Yeah, it's pathetic now, man. And I've talked to people on Twitter. The crazy thing about Twitter is there's so many people that still follow that dude that still don't know what's happening. Like they don't believe it, and they're like, "Oh no, you got to let the legal process play itself out." And I reply, I tell them, "Hey, they have had 36 as up to today, 36 legal cases. They are 1 for 36." And the one case that they won is meaningless. All they won was the ability to separate some of the mail-in ballots from some of the ones that were late. That's it. So, and they were like, no. There's only 3 cases. I'm like, no. There's 36. You don't even know what the score is.
And they're
you know what I'm saying?
Badly.
And can you imagine like running the same play 36 times and losing like every time? It's like, yo, jet sweep.
Yes, I can. The Rockets that year they missed 23 straight 3-pointers.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Rockets were like live by the 3, die by the 3, and they meant that shit.
Yeah. But dude, that shit was so infuriating because I was in full hating on y'all mode, and I was just like, "Oh, call another play, bro! Like fucking shoot a layup."
Nope. Live by the 3, die by the 3, and they died. Ooh, they died.
And back to your analogy, yeah, that's what Trump is at. He's still putting up threes, even though the game is over, the light is out, like nobody's in the stands, the janitor stuff. Getting mad at him, it's like, dude, we gotta fucking end the game, like.
Right, people are just there like sweeping the floor around him. Like, come on, man, let's go.
You just hear vacuums, the dull sound of a vacuum and a fucking floor zamboni in the background.
Like, we gotta change this over. The Clippers are playing tomorrow, so come on, let's go.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what it is. Game. Like they want to
pull up this floor.
Yeah. We got Biden's coming in. Like we got to put his shit up here. So that's where we're at now. But the cool thing about it is, even though it's in this state of flux, we don't have to listen to another thing that dude has to say. Like ever.
I'm sad we had to listen to any of it. Like the fact that we let a reality star be president. Like the beauty of him being a reality star was that you could change the channel. Like the president, when he has something important to say, it's on every fucking channel. Like you can't get around that.
Right. I mean, like I personally, I've never watched more than like 10 seconds of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. If I had to watch the Kardashians every day, it'd be on my feed, it'd be on my TV, it's on the bulletin boards, it's on the radio, I would lose my mind. I mean, I would really lose my mind. And strangely enough, Kim Kardashian was actually more sane than Trump because she was trying to fight for prison reform. You know what I'm saying?
No one has done more for black men than Kim Kardashian.
Oh God, I wish that wasn't true.
Yeah, that woman time after time. That woman has bent over backwards, gotten down on her hands and knees for the plight of the black man in this.
She's bent over backwards, forwards. There's a lot of bending. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of it. Like she's a very flexible person.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it was maddening, but it's hopefully this is the end. There's only a couple things left. He was supposed to pardon the turkey today, and he did that, which I didn't think he was. I don't think he was going to do it. I thought he was going to just shoot the turkey just for spite. like fuck you, turkey! Bam. What?
Yeah, well, we all know Donald Trump doesn't do his own work. I thought you were talking about Michael Flynn.
Oh no! That's a real problem though.
Yeah, like he pardoned the dude that was guilty of treason, and it's just a minor infraction.
It's a real problem because what happens now is the treason. Michael Flynn was also charged with obstruction of justice because he was caping for Trump. So now they're going through the legal stuff like if you hide my gun and I pardon you, is that even legal? Because I mean that means that I'm part of the that I'm part of the crime.
Exactly. Like you just like I'm like he's guilty and he pled guilty and like now you're pardoning him. But it's once you get out of office, it's fair game on you. And the whole point of him being in jail is because he lied for you. So if you're pardoning him for lying for you, that's like when you multiply times, like a negative times a negative is a positive.
Yeah. It's definitely a conflict of interest. To say the very least is a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we gotta have to wrap this up, I think.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end here. Let me see if there's any odds and ends here. Oh, real quick. I found this is just a small tidbit. Normally when you start a story and the story starts with Florida man, what do you expect?
Oh boy. I just said, oh boy. Like
yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, anytime it starts with Florida man, usually that means somebody, blows their nuts off or accidentally, gets their dick stuck in a meat grinder or, or tries to create their own rocket ship and it blows up, dumb shit like that. But there's actually a Florida man story that the Florida man did not actually get hurt. And it's on tape if you can find it. Somewhere in Florida, this guy was sitting there with his puppy next to a swamp. And alligator jumps out of the swamp, grabs the puppy, and starts trying to drag it into the swamp. The Florida man, just jumps into the swamp and starts wrestling the alligator. Like without skipping a beat, not like, oh my God, I should just get a new puppy. No, he's like, fuck that, that's my puppy. Jumps in there, grabs the alligator, wrestles the puppy out the alligator's jaws, and then throws the alligator, and then, then just walks out like nothing happened. And on top of that, while he's doing this shit, he still has a cigar in his mouth.
Yes, that is the most Florida man thing I've ever heard in my goddamn life. Like that is like as much as you said, like, oh, this isn't your typical Florida man stuff. No, it is. It's him doing something that you would think any parent would want to do, or like here in California, any dog owner would do. But like when an alligator actually got your dog, you don't have a dog no more. At least in my mind, like that's just like D.L. Hughley used to do a joke where he's like, if an alligator jumped on one of my kids, that's just God's will. Like that's
right.
So like if an alligator jumps on my kid, like if an alligator jumps on my dog, it's like, damn, I love that dog. It's gonna be a minute till I get another one because I really love that dog. Like that dog is like he had dog food and now that dog is food. So I don't know what to do. I'm very distraught at my puppy because I'm not going after it goes without saying, I'm not going after the fucking alligator. No, period.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like the way he just jumped in there, like it was no thing. I'm like, yo, I ain't doing that. But
that's the thing though. That was no thing to Florida man. Like that's a Wednesday to him. That's just like that. It's like I'm just like, oh shit, but no, let off.
Yep.
Like that's just how Wednesday works for Florida man.
Yeah. And then he's like, now go and get. We're talking about skipping a beat. Now here's my take on this. I feel personally, I feel bad for the alligator. I really do. I do. Why? Because alligators been around for millions of years. They do this shit all the time. They hide in the water, they jump out, they grab an animal, right? You've been training to do this for millions of years. You jump out to grab this delicious looking puppy, right? This delicious ass puppy, and this dude jumps out there and snatches the meal right out your mouth. Like, where that happen at? That's not supposed to happen.
Is that Florida?
That's not supposed to happen. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? This is not how this goes.
And you know how Kevin didn't even mention, like, this is in Tampa, this is in Miami, this is in Tallahassee. That shit doesn't matter. It's in Florida. This shit could have happened in somebody's No, this shit did happen in some random dude's backyard. He's just sitting there in the bayou, just smoking away at whatever meth is in this fucking cigar. Oh, my dog, goddamn.
Yeah.
Florida man. Wednesday.
Yeah.
On Discovery.
Yeah, he was just sitting out there with his lawn chair, man. Nothing special. But that's how fucked up 2020 is. Like, even as an alligator, I'm like, how the fuck is people stealing my food in 2020? What kind of shit is this?
The only thing that would have made that even any more Florida is if that would have happened outside Mar-a-Lago.
Pretty much.
It was like that goddamn dog was a Democrat.
So, Jesus Christ!
We've officially milked this joke further than we can go.
Hella stupid, man.
Reach the bones of this joke.
Well, all right, man. We gotta wrap up. By the way, shout out to my family. My family lives in Florida, so I know once we put this out there, they're gonna talk mad shit about me. Like, oh, so you're in California now? Oh, so you're too fancy for the alligators? Oh God.
I feel like your Marine brother is just gonna throw one in your lap, just like, yeah, take that, you're talking shit, boy. It's not even your action.
Pretty much. Oh God. My family will never watch this.
Yeah, because you're not a doctor.
You failed.
You're disappointment. You're just a scientist.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, my parents are black. I'm a fucking success. He's not in jail.
Yet.
We did it, baby. We did it. And he got a college degree. God damn. Woo. We hit the jackpot. Stop laughing so hard, white people. Yeah.
See, this is why Chappelle left the show. Oh man.
All right.
So I take it. Oh yeah, let's get out of here. This virtual shit. My face is starting to hurt from laughing. So obviously, like, nothing's happening this week because everything's locked down. Holidays. Like curfew this, lockdown that. So it's gonna be just VR shit and just Zoom shows until like January. So that's just how it is. So I guess we're gonna have to like arrange some parties in here, man. Like some VR parties. Just kick it.
That works for me. I don't know how we're gonna have to coordinate doing drugs together or some shit in order for this to be as fun as it should be. It's like, everybody drop your ass in now.
Right.
Then you take your helmet off. Oh shit, I'm still inside.
Right. It's like this is not a flub. I do sound like a robot now.
C-3PO over here.
Exactly.
All right. Do you have anything? Do you have any Zoom shows or anything that you'd like to promote?
Probably like the first week of December. There's a Zoom show I do called Zoom Cabaret. It's not my show. It's hosted in Portland, Oregon. I posted on my Facebook page. Look for me, Kevin Munroe, Showtime and Kev. I'll post it there. It's a Saturday night show, usually like 7 p.m. It's a variety show, comics, music, and so on. And it's people from Boston, from Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, and LA. So Zoom Cabaret. It's called Zoom Cabaret. I'll put it out there on Showtime and Kev Peach. First week of December.
Good. Nice.
Yep.
Nice. And the day after Christmas, when you guys are done dealing with your folks and you've watched all the football and basketball you can deal with, watch the Robinson Comedy Services telecomedy jam. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like in your face. It's going to be, telecomedy. And it's going to be on Zoom. We'll have the link for you soon. Check for that on Eventbrite. And all proceeds go to the comics themselves and the United Negro College Fund because, go figure, Sally Mae wants their money back from me. And so December 26th, Robinson Comedy Services, the RCS telecomedy jam. All right, that is our show. Kevin, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I'm good, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe and don't give your grandma COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Thanksgiving. Wear a mask. Wear a condom too, and be good. Take care.
Right. Peace out.
Yeah.